All right, let's finish up the second part of section 3 of chapter 3. This is a B, not a 6, so 3.3b, and we're going to talk about more problems with 2 or more unknowns. The next type of problem we're going to do is problems with consecutive integers or consecutive even or odd integers. So what you need to know first is consecutive integers are integers that are one after the other. So if you start with 5, the next number is 6, 7, 8, and so forth. -3, -4, -5, -6, and so forth. So consecutive integers are one after the other, so you would simply add 1 to each unknown. So if you were looking for consecutive integers, you would have n, and then you have n plus 1, and then you'd have n plus 2, and n plus 3, and so forth. All right? Now, if you have consecutive even or odd, then that means you're going 2, 4, 6, 8, so you're skipping 1. And if you want odds, you want 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, so you're still skipping 1. So if you want consecutive even numbers, you're going to start with your n, and you're going to assume that that's an even number, and then you're going to have n plus 2, so whatever that number is plus 2, and then whatever that number is plus 4, and then whatever number that is plus 6. All right, so you're skipping 1 each time. Now this is easy to understand with even numbers because we think of 2, 4, 6, 8 as even. If you have consecutive odd numbers, you're still going to add 2, 4, and 6. You won't add 1, 3, and 5. You're going to add 2, 4, and 6 because if you have an odd number, say the number 3, if you add 2 to a 3, you're going to go back to an odd. So 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 4, 3 plus 4 is 9, 3 plus 4 is 7, 3 plus 6 is 9. So do you see how if you add 2, you're actually skipping the even number and going to the odd. So even if you want consecutive odd, you still add 2 to each consecutive number if you want evens or odds. All right. That being said, we've got the first problem. The sum of 3 consecutive even integers is 78. Find the numbers. So once again, we're going to start by saying what do we want? We got a list. We want 3 numbers. So we want the first number, the second number, and the third number. We want 3 numbers. So the sum of 3 consecutive even numbers. So the first number we're going to call n or x or whatever you want to call it. Shall we call it x just to start out with? So if we want consecutive even integers, the next consecutive even integer is going to be x plus 2. The next consecutive even integer is going to be x plus 4. So now we've got our first number x, x plus 2, x plus 4. The sum means we're going to add all 3 of these numbers. So when we add those 3 numbers, we say x plus x plus 2 plus x plus 4, and the sum is 78. And once again, once you get your equation, it's simple. So if you know what to do from here, pause it and then come back and see if you got the right answer. All right? Because I'm going to move on. Hopefully you paused it. Did you get it? All right. So now, combining like terms, there's 1, 2, 3 x's plus 4 plus 2, 4, 5, 6 equals 78. All we have to do is solve now. Subtract the 6 from both sides. So 3x equals 72. Divide by 3. So x equals 2 times 3 is 6, 4, 24. So the first number is 24. The second even number is 26. And the next even integer is 28. And if you want to check it, you certainly can. 20, 40, 60, 78. All right? So there's your 3 numbers you were looking for. Easy sneezy, right? Okay. The next 2 types, we've got 2 more types, and then that's all for this time anyway. You know I'll have another word problem for you later. So the next type, it's going to involve adding and multiplying, and the easiest way to figure out the relationship between things here is going to be to set up a table. All right, so we're going to set up a table with the information that we have and the information that we know so that we can then fill in what we don't know. So in this case, in this problem, a computer store sells ink cartridges for a certain printer. The black ink cartridges cost $12.75, and the coloring cartridges sell for $24.95. The store orders 5 more black ink cartridges than color cartridges, and their total for the order is $629.25. We want to know how many of each type of ink cartridge did they order. All right, so what we've got is we've got black ink cartridges and color, right? All right, so we've got black cartridges and we've got color cartridges. The information we know is that the black cartridges cost $12.75 and the color ones cost $24.95. All right. If we knew how many of each of these we had, we would just multiply to get how much they spent on that type of ink cartridge, right? But we don't. The color sells, let's see, the store orders 5 more black than color. So they ordered, we don't know how many of each of these, but we know they ordered, let's call it X color cartridges. And how many did they order of the black? Well, they ordered 5 more than the color. So X plus 5 more. So this is how many they ordered. So this is the price or the cost, and this is the number of ink cartridges. So if we multiply the number by the cost, we're going to get the cost, the total price or the total cost. I guess this would be the price, and we get the total cost. That's what we'll call it. Maybe that's a little more clear. So the price for one times the number that we purchased are going to give you the entire cost. Well, we don't know that. But we do have the cost. If we add both of these together, we get $629.25. So we know if we take the price times the number of black and add it to the price times the number of color cartridges, we're going to end up with this $629.25. So let's just do that. Let's take the $12.75 times X plus 5. That's the amount that we pay for the black cartridges. Now let's add that to the amount that we're going to spend on color cartridges, and that's the $24.95 times however many of those we order. If we add those two amounts together, we're going to get the $629.95.25. Now, even though we've got decimals, we've got bigger numbers, it's okay. All right, it's all right. We still, if you would like, you can move the decimals. So in each of these parts, you can move the decimals to the right and get rid of the decimals if you would like, or your calculator doesn't care if you punch in decimals, so it's okay. So either way is fine with me if you want to get rid of the decimals or not. So here, and if you want me to, I'll get rid of them in this one so that you can see how it works. So if you move the decimal 2 places over here, 2 places over here, and 2 places over here, we've moved it the same on each side. We've multiplied the entire equation by 100, so we haven't changed anything. So we have 1,275x, x plus 5 plus 2495x equals 62,925. All right. So now when we multiply through and get rid of the parentheses, we have 1,275x plus 1,275 times 5 is 6,375 plus 2495x equals 62,925. So now we're going to combine like terms. And when we combine those, we get, oh my lands, some crazy big number, 3770x plus 6375 equals 62,925. Let's make that a little bit smaller by subtracting this from both sides. And this is just, I'm going quick because this is just simple. Although the numbers are big, This is simple solving that you should get this by now. So we're going to have 3770x equals, what do we have left on this side? 5D. 5D. All right. And then we divide, because this is multiplied, we divide by 3770. And x should equal 15. So, and if you had kept the decimals in that whole way, then you'd have decimals here and here and here, and you would have ended up with the same thing. You would still end up with x equals 15. Okay, so once again, just like we did in the past lesson, so x is 15, well, that's fine and dandy. Now we've got to translate that and say, well, what does that mean? That means we purchased in this order, we purchased 15 color cartridges. And then it says we ordered 5 more of the black, so you just add 5 on to the 15 that we had here. So we got 20 black cartridges. All right. Okay. Last one. Here we go. Another one where we're going to need a chart. Once we get that chart set up, then we know which parts we can add and multiply. And sometimes in that chart, though, we're going to have to find parts that aren't specifically laid out for us. A company offers 2 dental plans: an individual plan for $22.75 a month or a family plan for $87.50 a month. If the company has 26 employees that have coverage and they pay a total of $1,757 per month, how many of each type of plan are being purchased? Okay, so don't get all crazy with all the words. Back up and set yourself up a chart or a table. So the 2 things you have are dental plans. You have either individual or family. So either individual or family plans, and we know the amounts for them. The individual plans are $22.75, and the family plans are $87.50. All right, so this is the price. So the next column needs to be the number that were purchased. So we've got 26 employees that have coverage. So 26 employees between the 2. Well, here's the trick. Choose one of them to be X, and it doesn't matter which. You're going to end up with the same answer either way. So let's say the individual plans, and actually I'm going to make sure I did it the same way. Oh, good, I did. Do the same way in my notes so that I can do my multiplication the way I already did it. All right, so the individual plans, and it will work out in the end. Your final answer will be the same either way. So call your individual plans X. So if you know that the number of individual plans plus the number of family plans is going to be 26, well, then you can take the 26 total, subtract off the X, and that would give you the number of people with family plans. Okay? So if you know the total, just choose one of them for X, and then take that X for the other choice. You're going to take the X away from the total. So you've got X having individual plans and 26 minus X employees with a family plan. So now you know that this times this equals the amount that is going to come from the individual plans. This times this is the amount that's going to come from the family plans. And they pay a total of $1,757, so you're going to add them together once again. So let's add them. $22.75 times X. We're going to add the $87.50 times 26 minus X. And that total together, what did we say? 1,757. All right, so now you have an equation. If you're getting good at those equations, pause it, do it on your own, and come back. See if you got it. All right, and I'm going to go to because of the multiplication involved, I'm going to make sure that I get it right. So we need to multiply this through and get rid of our parentheses. And this time I'm going to do it with the decimals. Either way is fine. If you want to get rid of them, that's fine too. Make sure if you move the decimals out, You're not going to move them in here because this is already multiplied by everything. So you would move them out here, and you're going to add 2 zeros to this number if you're trying to get rid of decimals. All right? So you can do that, but make sure that you move the decimal in your entire equation if you're going to do that. All right, so then multiply through, and we get the 8750 times 26 is 2,275 minus 8750x equals 1757. Then we can combine, now watch this, this gets crazy looking. 2275 and the negative 8750, when we combine those, we get a negative 6475x. But that's going to be okay, relax. We can deal with negatives because we're going to subtract the 2275 from both sides. And when we do that, we get a negative number on the other side, negative 518. And now, when we divide, we have to divide by a negative, and a negative divided by a negative will give us a positive, because you knew we couldn't have negative people, right? So we divide by the 6475 negative. And when you put that into your calculator, x equals 8. So then once again, don't forget, take that information, put it back into your original information. So x is 8. What does the 8 stand for? The 8 stands for the individual family plans. Or the individual family? No, the individual plans. So we've got 8 individual plans. And then to find out, well, okay, so how many family plans? You're going to take the 26 minus 8 gives you 18 family plans. All right? Whew. A lot of words. You can do this. The trick is to step back and look to see what is it that I know and what do I not know. First, fill out a chart with the parts that you know. Put the easy things down first so that you've got what you know, and then start working on the things that you don't know and write them in relationship to each other so that you can have one variable and solve for that one variable. All right? Good luck. See you soon.